Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I got a message I want to share with you, coming to you live from station WEBM. That's wonderful, Eddie B. Marcus, operating smack from the top of the sky, right wherever you are. This message is for my American sisters and brothers. Let's chill and let's reflect for a moment. Every time I come in the house and the news is on, I get disgusted to watch the news and see the Republicans and Democrats go at it. It makes the flesh on my bones crawl. It just makes me sick to the stomach. The reason it makes me so sick is because I see these politicians up there playing games with your lives, pretending like they care about you when bottom line only themselves and those who are financing them. Oh, they speak a little stuff, make you think that they care about you, but in reality, ladies and gentlemen, they don't. And the reason they don't care about you is because they don't feel they have to, because they don't feel that you even care about yourselves. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not a politician, but I spent a lot of years preaching. And somebody told me the difference between a politician and a preacher, a politician will lie to you to get your support. A preacher going to tell you like it is, and you can support it if you want to. It's all on you. So I'd like to tell it to you just like it is. Now, let's start off talking to you Republicans. Your politicians. You got some politicians that when they start speaking, the Democrats cringe as well as I just got through talking about our cringe. But don't feel left out because you cringe when the Democrats start speaking. And this is the thing that's sick. They're cringing, and they're all talking about you, and everybody's cringing. How can you get anything good out of that? How can you get anything good when those two parties who are representing your special interest or particular interest are cringing? It cannot be done. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in today. So I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak not to the politicians. I want to speak to you Republicans. And I'm going to ask you Republicans, what do you want out of life? What is it, living in America, that you desire? What is it that you want? Is it just that you want a conservative perspective? Is that what you're about, conservative? I don't think you give a darn about what is conservative. I think there's something particular that you want. What is it? Now, if somebody asks me, what do the Republicans want? I would say that the Republicans want their dreams to come true. And basically that means that they want something to do that they can access the resources that are required in life for survival and to have a good time in life. Do I have you wrong, Republicans? What about you Democrats? And I'm not talking about the politician. I'm talking about the Democratic people. What is it that you want? What is it that you want every day you think about it? What is it? I think it's the same things Republicans want. You want something to do that would enable you to access the resources, not only for survival, but the joy of life. I believe that every human being in America wants that. Why don't you have it? You got representatives in Washington. Why don't you have it? Is this boxing across the stream with the Republicans and Democrats? Is that boxing? Is that the thing that's keeping you from having it? If it is, why don't you tell them to stop boxing? You say they're liberals and their views are different than your conservative views. Well, let me ask you something. What view should be respected when every last one of you wants something to do? What am I saying? Every last one of you want a job, a decent job, a job that you can be proud of, a job that enables you to do the things you want to do, Republican and Democratic alike. And when the politicians in Washington sparring across the scene, you have never ever gotten it. Some of you have. The rest of you just fussing and fighting, arguing and hating each other, and bigots and racists all across the board. Because that's what those Republicans and Democrats in Washington got you doing, and they got you doing it like that so they can keep on making a monkey out of you. They can keep on staying up there 10, 20, 30, 40 years with a job. They can keep on getting that money off the side and doing what they want to do and call themselves big shots and try to put you down. That's exactly what they're doing, trying to put you down. Republicans, do you want your kids to go to college? I'm sure you do. You know education is good. Do you want these big old debts? Do you want these loans that got to be paid when you go to college? You come out in 4 years, you spend the next 10 trying to pay your debt off? I'm talking to you Democrats as well. Do you want your kids to go to college? Do you want them to be able to come out of college and relax into the careers that they've given and be able to access the resources for which they struggle so hard to prepare themselves for? Is that what you want, or do you want to keep on battling it out? Republicans on one side of the street, Democrats on the other side of the street, the politicians in between playing games, and the people with big shot and money sitting up skinning and grinning, and you down there fussing with one another, pissed off with one another, hating one another. I don't believe you want to do that. You do that because you feel there's nothing else to do in the situation that you're in, because you bought the lie that they've been telling you. I want to tell you there's one answer, and that's God. I'm talking about God. I'm not talking about a stinking Republican leader, a stinking Democrat leader. I'm talking about the power that created the earth and you. Want the same thing for you. And the reason that you want what you want is because you were designed to want it. And it was prepared that you could have it. But with Republicans and Democrats gotten you hating each other, you're not going to have a thing. So I'm asking you, people, Republicans and Democrats, sit down for a while. Think this thing out. Now, why am I telling you to do this? Because it makes me sick to look at the things that you people are doing when you don't have to. Now, what about you church folks who go to church all the time talking about your love for God, talking about the power that's in you is greater than the power that's out there in the world? What good is your power? Is it stopping the fight between the Democrats and Republicans? Is it resolving their problems? So what good is it? Going to church, spending these tithes and offerings, building these big buildings, and preachers getting all kinds of money, writing books and having a fine time. You think that's God? That's the same old game that the Republicans are playing, the Democrats are playing with the people that got money. You're being messed over. You're being treated like a puppet that nobody gives a darn about. God dog it, why don't you wake up? I come to tell you something. You're being screwed. Why are you being screwed? Because you're trusting in man to say that he cares. He don't give a damn. I tell you who does. The power that made you does. God. Everything you want, everything you need, everything you desire, God designed it so you could have it. Every last one of you can have a career of your own choosing. Every last one of you. Blacks, whites, men, women, Republicans, Democrats, every last one of you can have what you need, want, and desire. And a career of your choosing. That's the greatest thing, because now you're satisfied. You're somebody. You're participating in the creative process of your own joy. You don't need no Republicans. What is he doing for you, ladies and gentlemen? I'm doing this with another country, and they just using, the same thing they're doing to you is the same thing they're doing to other countries. And what is happening here is the same thing that's happening in other countries. All of the people all over the world are being messed over, abused and misused, exploited. Every human being on the face of the earth, under every government that exists. I'm telling you, you're getting messed over. You didn't listen to Malcolm X, you didn't listen to Martin Luther King, you didn't listen to Gandhi, and you didn't listen to Jesus. And think you got something going. The hell you're living in is what you got going. I come to tell you that God says there's a way out. Now we're living in a system that will not permit it. They will not permit it. In other words, this system has got to be changed. A new system. A new system that is accommodating to you, the people. Not what these politicians telling you, these lying suckers. You got to open up and let the Spirit of God come in you. And if you want something and you are honest enough and compassionate enough to want and care that others can have what they want to, that door begins to open and you can start seeing clearer. You don't need a politician to stand up there and mess over you. So what am I saying? The master in making you and creating you in such a way that the thing that you have special in you that allows you to put your hands to the plow and engage yourself in the creative process of all of those things that you say you want, you need, and desire. It ain't nothing but a joy in doing that. And while you're doing it, you're creating enough goods and services that not a single soul would have to worry about education. Not a single soul would have to worry about health care. Not a single soul would have to worry about food, clothing, and shelter. Not a single soul. Not black Republicans, white people, black people, Democrats. That's what God offers you. And all you got to do is treat people like you want to be treated. It doesn't cost you a dime. I know you got it stuck in your head if you ain't got no money. What do you think that money for? That money is nothing but a bait to keep your mind off the truth. Ask any fisherman. He goes, takes his pole, go out to the lake, put a piece of meat or something on it, and fish. All they're trying to do is eat and trying to survive. They look up there and they see a piece of meat. They go and grab that piece of meat, and first thing they do, they got a hook. Now, rather than them eating the meat, somebody eating their meat. You going for the money. Rather than getting what you get, what you think you're getting, somebody done got you. Now you a puppet. Being used for whatever they want to use you for. And rather than see clearly what they're doing, you look around at people around you and blame them. Black people blaming whites. White people blaming blacks. And now you out there fighting. Got cops killing you. Got wars and all this stuff going on. Lying and cheating. God dog it. What kind of people are you? I talk to you. I say I want to be senator from the state of Minnesota so I can help you. You know darn well you're not thinking about a word I'm saying, because there's nobody will say one thing on the major media sources, because I'm not paying them. You know, that's the game that's being played. I don't care what you're talking about. You ain't getting nothing if you ain't paying. Can you win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket? Somebody gonna buy a ticket, and that's the game they are playing. You don't have to play no games with life. Life's been set up to be beautiful. That's what life is. I'm damn tired of you. Because I live in this mess. I got kids in this mess. I can't even help them. I can't help myself because you acting like you a fool. And I'm tired. All my life I've been sitting there waiting for you to grow up, waiting for you to stand up and be men and women, waiting for you to act like God is in you, and you act like you so darn far from God is a crying shame. That's why Donald Trump is president of the United States. You find yourself that those people, those fundamental Christians, those evangelical Christians, all of them loving God. God is more powerful than anything, and they walk their stupid tail down to the polls and vote for Donald Trump and support Donald Trump. I'm telling you, you average citizens out there, you wake up. Wake up. So what do I want you to do now? I want you to listen to this. I want you to play it back. And I want to, when the next election comes around, I don't want you to listen to these jive turkeys. Look what they're doing right now. Kavanaugh. We need what? We need this justice so he can grant what we want. To hell what they want. We want what we want. And doggone it, you'll get the hell that you deserve, you stupid. Kavanaugh. If Kavanaugh and the justices can't work out justice and such, what is justice when they're working for some and not the other? And you buying it. And your politicians in Washington talking about they arguing for you. Forget argument. And say it is not going to happen that way. Say it's going to happen righteous or it ain't going to happen at all. God dog it, I think my folks upstairs probably think I'm getting too fired up right now. But I'm telling you, I came in this evening and I saw Kavanaugh sitting there making his statement. And I see Republicans and Democrats asking questions. And I see the man in charge sitting there doing his little thing. And you, the people, just sitting back wishing that what you want for what you desire is coming through. And you don't give a stink about what's happening for the other people. You think I'm not upset? You darn right I'm upset. Why? Because I have seen the hands of God. I know God exists. You sitting there worrying about your debts and the debt you got to get in. And God has set you free from all that stuff. And you sitting there walking in mud with boots on when you can pull them off and walk like you're walking on air. But you can't do it because you heard somebody else tell you something. Somebody else tell you something. Oh, they will preach to you and tell you to be still because the day might be the day that God has for you. What if God got something for you and doesn't have anything for anybody else? You ought to slap that preacher in the mouth, but don't hit him. No, that's violence. The way to slap him in the mouth is don't pay attention to what he's talking about. If he's not telling you how to love, if he's not telling you how the Republicans and Democrats can both enjoy the goodness of God, run out that place as fast as you possibly can. Now, I'm going to have to go right now, ladies and gentlemen, because I done got a little frustrated. And I just wanted to kind of see if I can wake you up a little bit. I hope I did. And if I didn't, I don't care. I tried. Bye-bye.